Hey, how's everybody doing? Once again, everybody. So there happens to be an up and coming fellow YouTuber by the name of Jeremy Hill, who always talks about both his perspective and his take on the state of today's black women. All the issues that he feels needs to be addressed with today's black women. Speaking of which, he recently did a video on behalf of black women and their whoredom, so to speak. And also that reminds me of how some prime examples would be of how Sierra recently was spotted at the Oscar Awards pre-show and addressed a very revealing dress, so revealing and provocative to the point where she appeared for the most part naked. You might as well say she darn sure appeared all the way naked. And when her current husband, Russell Wilson, looking in total disgust and looking so uncomfortable on top of that. And it also brings to mind of a lady who happens to be a TikToker, and her TikTok handle will be at Miss Cassium 98. I believe it's at Miss Cassium Cannons 98, whom happened to make a big deal out of being slut shamed, or people slut shaming her for feeding her baby in public. Not only that, but this lady happens to also be an adult content star as well, because she has her own OnlyFans page where she does provocative and steamy videos doing sexual acts as well. And my point in saying all this is that's the modest woman, modest and conservative woman exist anymore. I mean, when you think about it, also take into accountability how most women nowadays want to cuss, use excessive cussing. On top of that, smoke just as many cigarettes as the average man. On top of that, marijuana as well. If not that, things of that nature, they like to engage in excessive sexual activity. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Mr. Hill, Jeremy Hill, the YouTuber that I just mentioned earlier, on a recent StreamYard video about, and he mentioned this, by the way, women, as soon as they get to know a man, they want to let him know straight up that he has to have at least 10 inches, if you know what I mean, or be very well endowed, so to speak. If some of you see where I'm coming from. In other words, women nowadays, instead of going by, like Jeremy Hill also mentioned in another video of his, how much of a good provider the man could be prior to getting to know the man, they may tell their girlfriends when they have quote unquote girl talk that he has one of the main requirements nowadays a man has to have for him to get with her is he has to have 10 inches down below. Because I'm trying not to be too explicit at the same time. If some of you still catch my drifts or see where I'm coming from. And on top of that, I also want to mention how you have just as many women nowadays that wear or that have excessive tattoos, that go as far as doing shaking their butts, as they call it, twerking, because you could see on the news a person, if a guy, for instance, may be doing an interview and may be broadcasted live on a news channel, a local news channel in the hood. It may be a lot of people, black people, a black guy, by the way, who may happen to be in the hood, so to speak, and may be surrounded by a whole lot of other people, friends, family members. Now, you best believe that it'll be a couple of women in the background as he's filming the video that'll start twerking, doing the booty dance that's been around for quite some time, where women like to, when big butts or big booties like to show them off by doing the booty dance called twerk, the twerk or twerking. And it's like very few, the way I see it, and I do mean very few women nowadays believe in carrying themselves in more of a modest manner, a more modest and civilized manner, to the point where men are almost hopeless in finding a woman of that nature, because for the most part, I say, judging from my perspective and my take, my views on things, how I see things is a big part of it is due to what they hear in the music from way back in the days. The group Salt and Pepper, when they made the song "Push It," was subliminally referring to sexual themes, to Little Kim, Foxy Brown, who not only promoted sex in their songs, but on their album covers and in their videos used to always like to expose themselves in a raunchy and more provocative manner, if you know what I mean. Now we have people such as Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, who also happened to make a song together by the name of WAP, which was a very provocative and explicit song all about sex. Even if you look at the video, because I just looked at a few snippets of it. As a matter of fact, I don't care to watch it until this day at all, hardly. But that's one of the main reasons that a lot of more younger women or females that are in, they go as far as being in kindergarten, that are as young as 5, 6 years old, look at those type of women as positive, or those type of figures as positive role models. Anyway, I'm going to end this video, and I wanted to get your take on whether the modest, more conservative woman exists anymore for all you guys to maybe listen to this video. Personally, I feel like it does, but it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. It really is, due to how so many women are so loose nowadays, and always are. Even when you go to the local supermarket, you may happen to, out the blue, spot a woman. So even when kids, from time to time, they may come to the grocery store with a halter top and her nipples all poked out. On top of that, may have a mini skirt while wearing the halter top with her nipples all poked out. And then even worse, to make matters even worse, may have a toddler sitting right in the basket, in the top of the basket, on the phone, talking to some other guy that's not the child's or the infant's father, trying to, negotiate to do a random hookup with another guy. Because I have personally experienced that while shopping at a local store before, which I addressed on one of my previous videos. And it's just pretty sad and messed up how it's hard for the most part to find, although once again, I will say there are some women that are more, carry themselves in a more dignified and civilized manner, but It's like, once again, and I will keep on saying this, look for a needle in a haystack. So I want you to like the video first and foremost, comment on the video below, share the video so the video, both the video and the channel could become more viral. Last but not least, subscribe to the channel as well. Until next time, have a very blessed, prosperous, and safe day.